like, for commercials that,
Yeah.
like the soda machine that shoots cans, and all sorts of really interesting things and effects. And Adam himself was an artist. Actually, he was an actor and then a graphic artist, and started working as a freelancer at M5, and that's how they got together. So I guess in that, I am the Jamie to your Adam is okay with me.
This is David Federline from The Amazing Meeting 4, and I'm sitting with Jamie of the Mythbusters. Thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
And I have to ask a couple questions. I've been asking this question both of Kari and Adam. How far do you get on the street before somebody has to talk to you about something you've blown up?
Well, not very far usually. I seem to be the most recognizable out of the whole group. And
I can't imagine that.
well, I've tried wearing a baseball cap. I haven't gone so far as to try and shave the mustache off yet, but I'm the one that stands out the most. And it's an interesting thing with this blow stuff up. A lot of people seem to think that I like that, and I'm kind of like, I'm presented as this person that wants to blow things up, and I actually find it kind of nerve-wracking and boring at the same time. Nerve-wracking because no matter what you do, you could end up in trouble.
Yeah.
And bored because you just don't want to go getting creative with it. And
How long does it take to clear a myth that's going to involve explosives with your insurance company?
About the same as all the others. I'd say maybe even a little quicker because they know what to do with it.
Okay.
And it's like we're going to blow something up, and so you got authorities, or you either have the appropriate people to deal with this and appropriate precautions, or you don't. But when you've got something like right now. We're in the middle of a story to do with Archimedes' steam cannon, and it doesn't involve explosives, but the damn thing could blow up. And there's they don't know what that means. And in that case, there's not really an expert to deal with that. We talk to boiler people, for example, about the pressures involved and steel structures and all this kind of stuff. But there are a lot of things that we do that don't really fit into some approved category. Those are the ones that take a long time for them to figure out how to insure. At first, they were a lot of those went right by. They were basically, they hear explosives and they, kind of clench up, but but then if you talk to them about something that they've never heard of before, then you can end up basically doing something that's way more dangerous just because they haven't heard of it. And they'll let you get by with it, but now they're kind of on to
they
that.
don't let you.
Yeah.
So it's almost like two research teams, because you give it to them and they're going to research it for a while too.
Well, yeah. It's getting tighter and tighter, and it actually it's good because we're probably safer than we were to begin with, but it also inhibits us a great deal. It slows us down, and there's a lot of times that we're just being really paranoid about little things and going into snail's pace because you never know.
Yeah. Now, and I'm gonna shift gears here because I'm curious. How long did it actually take to rebuild Buster? And there was an episode on it, but I never actually caught what the time frame of the beginning of the design to the finished product was to rebuild him.
I think it took about a week. We did everything really quickly. It's Buster is now sort of he's not a precision instrument anymore, and so that allows us certain freedom to build him quickly because a lot of the tolerances are low. Like we build in slop so that he can get really tweaked and not be damaged.
Well, what was the and you'd said it was at 500 G's impact on that on the water drop?
Yeah, there's the G's that Buster experiences are way off the scale in a lot of cases. I mean, we can't even put equipment on him to measure it because the equipment gets destroyed, and we've gotten specialized equipment from the Navy SEALs and the this and the that, all these companies that make these boxes that are supposed to measure really high impact, and we just like destroy it. And,
Just one after another.
Yeah, it's just like, so we had to devise our own systems, and it mounts to things that we can see, bones that we put in, they're calibrated for to be like a human, and so either they break and he's trashed, or he's not. It's not real precision measuring of the G's, but at least it tells us whether he would have died or not.
Fair enough. Now I got to ask you about the Darwin Awards, the movie.
Okay.
How did you end up in it?
Well, we ended up getting approached because a lot of the stuff that we do on Mythbusters is right out of the Darwin Awards kind of phenomenon, and so the production was being done in the Bay Area by people that I've been in the film business for quite a while, and so people that I knew and or that knew of me and so on, and they just put the two and two together that
Figured it was a natural fit.
Yeah, we do a little kind of cameo. Initially, they also consulted with me to in my company to handle the effects on it, but I guess due to the fact that I shoot the show primarily, and this was a fairly major production that they had going on, they opted to bring in some professionals from LA to do the actual stunt wrangling and so on. Although I was in the beginning stages of planning that took them there.
If you were to not count Mythbusters, up until Mythbusters, what was the most favorite job you had?
Well,
because and it's always hinted at, but never actually discussed, that there's quite a lot in your background.
Well, where I've ended up in Mythbusters has been a steady evolution towards exactly this end. At some point, I grew up in the Midwest, and you do a job to earn a living, and if you want to have fun, you do that after work or on your vacations or whatever. And but at one point I took a vacation. I went to the Caribbean, and I was trying to get a job on a sailboat, and to just experience what it was like being on a open ocean sailing charter boat and so on. Mm-hmm. And about a month after I was there, I had my own boat. I had 6 months later, I had my dive master's rating and my captain's license, and I was taking out charters. I did that for the next 4 years. Eventually burned out on it because it became a routine, but it started me thinking, it actually is fun, or it is possible to earn a living doing something that's fun. And so I thought about what exactly that was, and I came up with this line of work, or with film effects work, because it's so varied. It's hardly ever a routine. It's creative. It can be all over the scale. And so I methodically went about getting myself into this industry, and I haven't found anything that compares to it since. I guess the only place to go from here is thanks to the show and success in business, I have a certain freedom, and maybe eventually I'll be able to just build things because I want to, instead of doing it for some particular reason that somebody else has determined. But otherwise, this is about as close as you could possibly want.
I want to thank you for joining me and for spending some time with me. And congratulations on all the success of Mythbusters. One last question. What brought you to the skeptical movement here? I actually, before this, didn't really know that much about the Skeptics Society, and I guess Adam and our producer were a lot more up on it and were more enthusiastic about it. But once I got into it, I became aware that unknowingly, I'm actually pretty adamant about the whole God thing, and it seems that the skeptics are by and large atheists or something approaching that, which I strongly identify with, and so it turned out to be a good thing, and I've become enthusiastically a part of it. Excellent. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.